Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we have the latest on Francine and its impacts on the southeast. And community leaders and organizations gathered for a night of recognition.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We're at 6:30 this Friday morning, and today is September 13th, which makes it Friday the 13th. Now, I don't know about you, Tim, but I think I'm going to take this Friday the 13th as a lucky one because I think we all deserve a good weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
I'm definitely taking the lucky spin, Madison, because I got something big tomorrow afternoon, and fingers crossed, it's all going to go well. Because it will, right? 61 as we got the rain continue to fall outside our door, and temperatures across eastern and southern Kentucky this morning, all in the 60s, minus crossing the state line. Over toward Grundy and Clintwood, mid and upper 50s your way. The pinpoint Doppler radar showing this area of light and moderate rainfall, some heavier bursts as you make your way back towards 75. The one thing to take note of is how the pattern has eased up to showers down toward Middlesboro, Monticello, Lafayette. Also, this has been slowly trying to creep northbound towards 64 and still hasn't even made the Mountain Parkway into Stanton yet. So we'll continue to track this as we head through the next couple of hours. But again, as this continues to slowly track to the north, we'll look for the steadiest of rain to kind of ease up the showers as we head through this morning. We'll maintain the shower threat this afternoon with some brightening and a forecast high up close to 80. More about your bus stop forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. A Rockcastle County man is dead after a crash in Lincoln County. The multi-vehicle crash occurred a little before 4:30 Wednesday evening. The vehicle Christopher Mirato of Corbin was driving collided with Wanda Edwards of Broadhead. The vehicle Edwards was driving then collided with another vehicle, that one driven by Christina Ferris. 74-year-old Joseph Edwards was a passenger in the collision and was pronounced dead at the scene. We now know the name of the person who died in Wednesday's crash on I-75 in Whitley County. The Whitley County Coroner's Office says 56-year-old David Nyes died in the crash. According to KSP's preliminary investigation, Nyes lost control of his commercial vehicle while driving north on the interstate. He drove off the road, hitting trees and then flipping over. The northbound lanes were closed for several hours. A man has been found guilty in the 2020 murder of a Pike County woman. The Commonwealth's attorney for the 21st Judicial Circuit says Anthony Hall entered an open plea earlier this week in relation to his arrest for the murder of Jody Stapleton. Hall was charged back in 2020 after Stapleton died from injuries sustained when police say she was beaten. A Menifee County jury recommended multiple life sentences for Hall, including one for murder. Wednesday, an incident in Perry County prompted schools to go on lockdown, but we have new information regarding that situation. It was originally thought that a bullet may have hit a vehicle around exit 59. After a thorough preliminary investigation, Hazard Police believe no shooting happened and there is no danger to the public. The Sheriff's Department posted on Facebook that it appears a bullet found on the vehicle was possibly picked up from the highway or has some other origin and was not a fresh fired round. Perry County schools will be on regular schedule today. Leslie County High School students partnered with this sapling center to gather baby supplies for single mothers in the area that may not be able to afford them. Student Madeline Huff reached out to the center to ask about needs in the community, and it said there has been an increase in single mother households and teen mothers in the area. This resonated with Huff, who says she believes this drive will impact so many in her community.
Well, I just can't stand the thought of babies going to sleep hungry or not having diapers or anything, and I just really wanted to help my community and all the babies and families in it. I think it'll have a great outcome, and I'm just really excited to see them get the help that they need.
The drive will last until October 31st, and you can drop off donations at the Sapling Center in Hyden and in Hazard. Kentucky is celebrating the blessing of its newest Safe Haven baby box. The new addition is in Hardinsburg in Breckinridge County. It marks the 42nd baby box in the Commonwealth. The 40th and 41st were blessed in Pikeville and Hazard earlier this week. Once a baby is placed inside, the box locks and the healthcare workers are notified immediately. It is a secure and compassionate option for parents in crisis. Right now, there are 265 of these boxes dispersed across the country. The Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce hosted its annual awards night at the Appalachian Wireless Arena in Pikeville last night. The event is the Chamber's way of celebrating its members, providing dinner and networking opportunities before presenting awards for the members, organizations, volunteers, and individuals voted on by the region. Chamber President and CEO Jordan Gibson says it is always a good night to celebrate the good things happening in the area.
We do a whole nomination process, and so I get to hear some of the things behind the scenes that maybe the public doesn't know about these individuals and these organizations, about why they are worthy of an award. And so the best thing for us is when we finally play these videos on the screen and everyone else gets to see the great things that they do too. It's pretty exciting.
Those in attendance say it is always a great time of fellowship and celebrating community. One of country music's favorite duos is hitting the road, and Ewan McGregor receives one of Hollywood's highest honors. Danya Backus has your eye on Entertainment Report.
Tickets go on sale today for Country Music Hall of Famers Brooks and Dunn's 2025 Neon Moon Tour. It launches in March in Lubbock, Texas, and features 30 years of Kix Brooks and Ronnie Dunn's biggest hits. Dave Bautista plays Joe Flood, a hitman with a terminal illness who orders a hit on himself in the action comedy The Killer's Game.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news, Joe. It's terminal.
How long do I have?
Best case, 3 months.
I don't want Maisie to see me fall like that.
But things get messy when the hitmen go after Flood's girlfriend, and he finds himself fending off an army of assassins. The Killer's Game arrives in theaters today. Emmy Award-winning actor Ewan McGregor gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I wanted movies in my life more than I wanted kids shows or anything like that from a really young age. And I'm just so happy to be part of the world. I'm happy to be a creative person, happy to be an artist. And I love it very much, and I love you all very much too. Okay.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi actor has appeared in dozens of films, including Trainspotting and Moulin Rouge, along with several streaming series and a stint on Broadway. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Keeping an eye on the weather. Got to keep an eye on that Brooks and Dunn tour. I missed catching them this year. I want to definitely get the details on next year. All right, let's talk about the weather. Obviously, it's a wet start to the day for many of us, and I say many because we haven't gotten the rain up toward the 64 corridor. The rain has already eased up to showers across our southern counties, and that'll be the continuing trend for the rest of us here as we head through the morning. Heaviest of rain right now west of Hazard and Jackson, toward the 75 corridor and creeping into Lexington. And we continue to see some showers outside our door right now, 61. The rain will continue to diminish to showers this morning, some brightening this afternoon with a high up close to 80. 7-day forecast in a few minutes. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. Francine, now a post-tropical storm could still cause damage across the South. Communities outside of New Orleans were flooded yesterday, and winds could still bring down trees, leaning in loosened soil. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest on the road to recovery.
This morning, high water still covers roads in parts of southern Louisiana after what was Hurricane Francine slammed the state as a Category 2 storm.
It was a little more intense than I thought it would be.
Francine weakened to a tropical storm as it reached New Orleans, while the Flood Protection Authority says it closed 52 floodgates to protect against storm surge there. In Terrebonne Parish, streets looked like the ocean. It wasn't the water, but the wind that ripped away Dan and Samantha Stevens' livelihood. The hurricane peeled the roof off their thrift shop in the heart of the parish, one of the most affordable places for people here to shop. exposing everything inside.
There's some really good people in this neighborhood, and a lot of them are less fortunate, and they look forward to coming here. It's their favorite place.
At the storm's peak, more than 400,000 people in Louisiana had lost power. That number much lower this morning. But for the thousands still without, using generators to pierce through the dark, a warning. Keep them at least 20 feet from the house.
Point the exhaust the other direction. The most dangerous thing you can think about with a portable generator is CO coming in.
Communities in Mississippi are also cleaning up from remnants of the weakened storm. The winds sent a tree crashing through this roof in the eastern part of the state. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Jared Hill, CBS News.